When a drawing has a sloped surface such as this one, that sloped surface cannot be projected true size and shape in any of the regular standard views. As you look at it in the side view, it's actually what's called foreshortened because it's leaning back. It's not the true height. It's only from here to here. And if we projected it into the top view, the same thing would happen. It would be distorted this way because it's not being projected perpendicular to the surface. And so there's a special kind of projection called an auxiliary view. An auxiliary view is an extra view above and beyond the regular orthographic views. Auxiliary views are used to project inclined surfaces so that you can see their true size and shape. And so that's what we're going to teach you how to do here, is teach you how to project an auxiliary view. Okay, so we have the inclined surface right here. In order to project that, we're going to bring in our protractor head, and we're going to rotate it so that one side is parallel with the inclined surface, and then we'll lock it in at that setting. Okay, with that inclined arm parallel, the other arm is perpendicular. And so what we're going to do is we're going to project a line from these corners perpendicular to that surface. So we'll project the bottom, and then we'll project the top here. Okay, those two projectors are projected at a 90-degree angle. That's what perpendicular means. Well, that is the true length of that surface, that distance right there. That's the true length. And that's the distance between these two lines. Okay, now the second step in projecting our auxiliary view, I'm just going to lift this off for a minute and leave it at the same angle. We'll use it again later. The second step is to get the width information, this depth right here, from the side view, the view that's opposite the slope. Okay? And so it's these distances right here that we want to step off, and that will be projected parallel with the existing surface. And so what we're going to do now is just slide up, decide where we want the auxiliary view to be. I'm just going to say I want it right in this area, and so I'm just going to put a construction line there. That will become the left edge of our auxiliary view. Okay? Now, you've used your dividers before for other things, but we're going to use them here to transfer distances from the side view, because this distance is going to be the same. It hasn't changed. Only this distance was distorted when we projected it, but the front to back depth dimension of the object is still the same. So what we do is we take our dividers and we set them to the measurement of the first space. And then we come up to our auxiliary view, and we step that off along the top here, and we'll just put a dot there. Okay, now we come down and pick up from that same edge the distance over to our next line. And we'll take that and Step that off up here as well. And finally, we take the total depth, this distance right here. Okay, we take that up to this view and we transfer that distance. Okay, so the only thing that we needed from the side view is the depth information for this surface. This T shape right here is the sloped surface. And so we're going to build that right here in this space. So now we know where the little T steps in and where it steps back out. We've taken those measurements side to side here with our dividers. Now, to get the height information, we're going to project that perpendicular to the inclined surface. So just like we projected the top and bottom, now we're going to come to this line where it steps in, and we're going to project that out. Okay? Now, we're going to come up here and begin to build the shape. Okay, so that point is where this steps in. So I'm going to project that down. Go to the next one. Project that down. And finally go to that last point and project that down. Okay, I've got all of the lines that I need. I'll just slide this out of the way for a minute. Now we just need to go up and erase the things we don't need. We need to build a shape that looks like a T. So we won't have this line because there's nothing between here and there. We won't have this line because there's nothing between here and here. And we won't have these lines because that's not part of the slope. Okay? So we'll just kind of start cleaning things up here, taking out what we don't need. And there's no line right here between there and there, so we'll take that middle one out. Okay, and since these are just construction lines, no big deal. We'll just clean up a little around them here so it's a little easier to see what we've got. Take our dusting brush, clean it off. Okay, there's our shape. There's our T shape. That's what it really looks like in true size and shape. You can see how much it was distorted in the side view. So all we'd have to do is darken it up and we'd be finished with it. Hold on just a minute and I'll darken it. Alright, there's our finished auxiliary view. Perpendicular with the surface, true height, true width, its true size and shape. No more distortion. So, auxiliary views are really fairly simple to project. We get the depth information this way by using our dividers to measure that distance in the side view for each of the features. And we get the height information by projecting perpendicular to the inclined surface in the other view. So that's how we got this line, that's how we got this line, and that's how we got that line. So it's a combination of projecting perpendicular to the inclined surface and measuring using the dividers in the other view. It wouldn't matter if we had a top view instead of a side view, we could still get depth information off of that view. And so this is how you project an auxiliary view.